Man stands pencil on dustbin. A car passing by splashes the pencil on the ground. An elderly man saw the accident and tried to pick it up, but he accidentally collided with a young man on a bicycle. The boy's accidental fall attracted a large number of passers-by to watch. The bus driver was just looking at the scene of the accident, but inadvertently ran a red light. The next moment, he was distracted and killed a woman. And the man who did this walked away without looking back. He is the man with an IQ of over 180. Soon the police officers were called to the scene to investigate. After questioning, the driver had never hit anyone before, and there was nothing suspicious at the scene. The only thing left at the scene was a blue pencil. They calculated that the chain reaction was triggered by a pencil, but they still think there's something strange about it. The same thing happened just a few days ago. The bus driver was distracted and ran a red light, accidentally killing a man. The two men were unrelated, but they died in the same way. The sheriff noticed a blue pencil left at the scene of the crash. He knew it wasn't a coincidence. It was intentional. It was probably the result of some kind of calculation, but the woman in the black hat with an IQ of 150 thought it was impossible. There were 37 people, 22 cars, 4 trucks and 2 buses at the intersection in a Category 6 typhoon. There could have been a million different outcomes from all these factors. How can anyone calculate the result in a short period of time? But then another incident occurred. When they arrived at the scene, they found a bus and a car colliding, but luckily there were no casualties this time. That's when the woman saw the blue pencil roll out of the car. She immediately realized that the man must be nearby. She looked around and finally saw the man on the overpass. Just as she turned her head, she saw a man crossing the road and being run over by an oncoming ambulance. What's done is done. She quickly rushed to the overpass. The man grabbed a bicycle and threw it off. By the time the woman arrived, the man was calm and relaxed, with his hands in his pockets. He looks like he doesn't give a damn. He looks like he's waiting for something. Suddenly, the man leapt off the bridge. And then he said, "What can you do about it?" Then the man came home. His sister asked him where he went. The man kept mumbling differential equations that no one could understand. He seemed like a different person. The sister had to take out the only thing her mother had left behind. She tried to wake him up, but the man's mind was so full of mathematical, scientific and differential equations that it couldn't hold human emotions. It left without looking back. On the other side, the police have made new progress in their investigation. They found that all 3 victims worked at the same hospital, so they quickly went to the hospital to investigate. It turns out that this hospital started a program a year ago. They developed a drug to raise the IQ of people with an IQ below 65. That man was one of them. 5 months ago, his IQ was 65 and he was severely mentally handicapped. After just 1 course of treatment, he could easily memorize the last 1,000 digits of pi, and he's already had 5 courses of medication. His IQ is increasing exponentially. In order to prevent things from becoming uncontrollable, the hospital was going to restore it to its original state, but they didn't realize that the man had escaped. The 3 victims were the ones responsible for the restoration. What the hospital didn't expect was that the 3rd victim hadn't been entrusted with the task, but was actually projected by the man out of thin air. They learned that the man had a sister. After inquiring about the location, they decided to investigate. At this moment, the man is watching them. His fingers were twitching, and he was already calculating the best way for them to die. Soon the 2 officers arrived at his sister's house. Here the 2 men didn't find anything suspicious. The woman said, "Your brother has killed 3 people in a row. Things have become uncontrollable. It will be very dangerous if he continues like this." After hearing this, the girl took out a note that her brother had handed her before he left, which said where to find him. As they were leaving the house, the man started counting again. After 3 seconds of long calculations, the man finally figured out that all they had to do was to lure her there at 4 o'clock. The air quality there is very poor. She'll go for the oxygen tanks and be killed by the bricks. Then the man appeared at the intersection, and with a crooked mouth, he began his plan. When the 2 men realized he was there, he quickly ran into a side alley. The 2 men ran after him. The time was exactly 4 o'clock. The man calculated as he ran. There's a construction site in front of him. The air quality is bad. When the woman sees the sign on the wall, she'll get an oxygen tank, and she will be killed by a large number of bricks. Back to reality. The man keeps running. The 2 of them are in hot pursuit. Then the man runs all the way to the construction site. He took an oxygen tank from a box. What the man didn't realize was that the woman had seen the sign, but she didn't reach for the oxygen tank, thus escaping with her life. The man was baffled. The woman went up and subdued him, but she soon collapsed on the ground due to lack of oxygen. Luckily, his companions arrived at that moment. The man never dreamed that the woman had lost her memory and had just regained consciousness a few days before. She didn't recognize the sign on the board, But that would have been too risky. At the end of the story, the man was put in a room alone. Because the drug has taken too long to work, he can't regain his former intelligence. I don't know what his intelligence is now. All he knows is that he can no longer communicate with others. The only thing he can understand is the supercomputer in front of him. This is the end of the story. We'll see you in the next issue.